Alright, who's ready for a 30-minute analysis of a 2-minute trailer? So what this is, well, basically that. An extremely long analysis of every single detail in this trailer that I could discover, my speculation on how things are going to work in the game, and I don't even know how to explain it, just an analysis of the trailer, pretty much. I think I'm one of the most knowledgeable people in terms of Mario Party probably in the entire world, so I think I'm probably more knowledgeable in Mario Party than any other series out there. So I think I have some right to give my opinion on all this, and I think I'll note a lot of things that other people may have missed. So that's why I wanted to do this. So the first thing that I wanted to take note of in this trailer was this back here. I think this game is going to have like a hub world that you travel around, like kind of like Star Rush, but a bit more like free. Like it's like an actual hub world you can move around in. Not a super expansive one, but a simple hub world where you can go from place to place. Here are all the boards in the game, I believe. Actually, that's I was thinking this is the balloon mode. This looks more like Rainbow Castle, actually. And all of these are probably different modes. This looks to be like some... I didn't actually look at this yet. Most of the stuff is scripted, but I didn't actually look at these islands yet. 7 boards are right here, obviously. That's the Bowser one, I'm assuming. But it also looks like it might be an unlockable board, because... Unless I'm missing one of the boards... Which I don't think I am. There's the mall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. So, I'm gonna guess that the Bowser board is an unlockable board. This area, though, this looks to be Coinathlon. This is probably Coinathlon here. I don't know what this is. This is the rhythm mode, that's a kitchen. This one, I'm gonna guess, is the co-op mode that I'll discuss a bit later. And I can't really tell what any of this is, so... we can tell Kamek's gonna be the host of this game. Which he was in Super Mario Party, but Toad and Toadette were also hosts there, which they are playable in this one. Actually, I didn't see you could see this stuff in the background. Floating islands. I don't know what this... Yeah, no idea what that is. Okay, this area. This area is gonna be what I'm gonna guess is the minigame modes of the game. And the reasons I have for saying that is because, see how everything is in 4s? Like this, obviously, for the 4 different players. And the reason why I think this is the minigame modes is because of these 2 rafts here, which look to be some kind of 2v2 mode, like the Minecart 1 from Super... I guess they were all Minecart 1 and Superstars, but... The 2v2 mode in Superstars where both players are on opposing, it's just win next number of minigames. Can't tell what that is, but these all look to be different kinds of minigame modes. Hopefully they have... Well, this is probably where you get onto this area. Hopefully there is a standard win X minigames mode, which has been missing since, like, Mario Party 9. I don't know why they keep omitting that kind of mode, but they do, so...
Biggest selection of...
You see a bunch of playable characters. Spike is playable again. I'm assuming all these characters are playable. Most of them have been seen in footage. Monty Mole being back is great. What else we got here? We got... Actually, I forgot to... Actually, it hasn't shown up yet, so I'll get to that later. Toad and Toadette are playable again. Birdo is back, who was absent in the first Super Mario Party. And yeah, so the title's going to come up here. I don't know why it's called Super Mario Party Jamboree. Like, I don't feel like the stuff I've seen and what I'm speculating the game is going to be like really feels like a direct sequel or expansion to the original Super Mario Party with how much they changed. That is more in line with Superstars, which was obviously the better received of the 2 games. Even, like, critically, I think Superstars was not significantly, but slightly more praised than the Super Mario Party. Hopefully there's no character dice blocks or allies in this one. I like the idea of allies, but it's just implemented so poorly. They worked in Partner Party, which I think is like absent from this game. I think it's the only mode, it's the only real important mode from Super Mario Party that was removed from what I can see. It's a shame because it was definitely one of the better ones in the game, but I'll take that for more boards, honestly. I will take getting rid of that. So, yeah, nothing else here.
Party Jamboree. First, let's see.
Okay, actually, so here we have Big Bowser here. Which, here's what I think is going to happen. Like, this is King Bowser, or whatever, because in that board later that they call it King Bowser's Keep. Like, I mean, as you can see, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. On this board, you can play as Bowser on this board. You can see him down there. And there's also Bowser here, so this is obviously not just regular Bowser. I guess that's what they're doing with the game, because they still apparently want Bowser to be the Vord villain, but they also want him to be playable. Which, I think I would prefer him to have... Like, I prefer him just being playable. He's a great as a board villain, he's really fun, but I just love playing as Bowser, and having him be both the board villain and playable is just kind of weird. What else is there to say here? I guess we could talk about the spaces. You can see the Lucky Space is back. Really happy about that. But there's also, like, there's Bowser spaces and there's Unlucky spaces. I don't know what the difference between those is going to be. Because Bowser spaces are basically just already the opposite of Lucky spaces. So what's the point of the Unlucky space? No clue. There's items on this board, which is really, really good because the original Rainbow Castle is a terrible board because it's just so unstrategic. Like, there's no decisions to make on this board. Items will remedy that. So, what else is here? Battle games are back, and Chance Time is back, which is really, really happy. Makes me really, really happy. I would hope... I think it's weird that... Why is Chance Time green now? It's never been green. It actually has been green in 2 and 3. I forgot about that. Actually, it's been green in all of them after 1, so... I don't know why I question that. That makes a lot more sense than making it blue, honestly. So, if I made this board, if I remade it, I would have made it like Castaway Bay, where you actually lose a star with Bowser, because that is what makes Castaway Bay so great, is the tension that you are going to lose a star if you mess up. Like, yeah, you lose 40 coins in the original, which is like, who cares? A star is something big, but I don't think they're going to do that, unfortunately. I think that's all I have to say about Rainbow Castle here.
Let's see some of the new boards where you'll compete to collect the most stars.
So first is the mall, Rainbow Galleria, I think it was called. I always forget the name. So, oh, I didn't even notice this. This is, I didn't see the screenshot until, like, I didn't really analyze this part of the trailer beforehand. This exact, like, I can't think of the word. So there's different. Oh wait, ooh, this could be used really cool. So there are. I guess we'll talk about that when it zooms out. The thing I really don't like about Super Mario Party, and to a lesser extent, I guess Superstars. I'm trying to think, like Superstars actually not Superstars. It's just Spaceland and Superstars. Just no board mechanics. They need to be more board mechanics or events to take advantage of, and this looks like to be this. This is not a shop, I don't think. This is like a pass-by board event. And with it's a bunch of paper, so I think there's like going to be like a bingo gimmick going on, because you can see this thing back there has stamps. So I think there's going to be some kind of bingo gimmick on this board, in addition to the changing star price that you'll see later in the trailer. I really love the idea of a multi-floored board. I had an idea for a hotel board. I think I briefly said something about that in my trailer, or at my reaction to this trailer in the Nintendo Direct. I think the escalators don't seem like a gimmick. They just seem like how they chose. It's like a style thing, how they choose to move you. The elevator back here, I really hope, is not just, like, okay, so there's a Koopa attendant here I didn't see. I think this is going to be, like, a paid transportation, which I would like, because I think just being able to go up there would be boring. Make it a little more interesting. So hopefully there's, like, a lot of reason to use that path, something good after it, or it just connects two parts of the board that are hard to, like, it's a basically sending you to the other side of like the furthest point away from where you currently are. I haven't really looked at how the paths work, but that would make it really interesting, I think. I think that's about all I have to say at this part. You can see a poster here of the Milk Wiggler, which is on Western Land, one of the boards they brought back. So this snippet shop has 4th place on it. I don't know what that means. There's 2 event spaces next to it. I assume landing on those... It's weird, because, like, these... Actually, the spaces aren't, like, that spaced out, so never mind. Now that actually makes me change what I thought this is going to be. I thought maybe he was going to give something to the player whose place was here when they passed by it, but I don't think that makes sense, because there's no, like, crystal there where the pass-by events usually are. And you see another stamp thing. So yeah, the something about these stamps and that kiosk that we saw before, right there, that's going to be the gimmick of this board, on top of the star price sales later on. You're going to see. But the snippet shop, I assume, gives some... now I think it's just going to, like, take stuff from you and give it to 4th place if you land there. Because it's going to be like, this is the shop for that helps people in 4th place. Don't know what these spaces or this shop's going to be about yet. So now we can see what I assume is pretty much the whole board. To me, this looks kind of small. I'm not going to count up all the spaces. I don't think there's going to be a hole on the other side of the board because then it'd be huge, but it does look a bit small to me. Definitely bigger than a super board, but smaller than, like, regular classic Mario Party boards. So this, I want to talk about Boo. Boo is obviously in this game. You can see him on almost every board. But Boo is also a playable character. So, I mean, they could just say it's a different Boo, but they've never done that before, which is weird. Like, they made it Lakitu and Super when Boo was playable, and in, like, Mario Party 6 and 7, it's Pink Boo that does this. Well, obviously Mario Party 7, you don't have Pink Boo as a board event, because Mario Party 7 is a bad game. Not really, but it makes me very angry, a lot of the decisions they made for Mario Party 7. Yeah, Boo good. Boo good. But here there's also, like, there's a Peepa in there, so it's some kind of area. It's got a Boo Bell sign. My initial assumption is that this is going to be like how King Boo or Big Boo was implemented in Mario Party 4, where you land on the event space and then you get access to Big Boo, which I think will work a lot better here than it would in Mario Party than it does in Mario Party 4, because of the assumed existence of the custom dice block. If they remove custom dice blocks, I don't know why they would do that, but so I doubt there's no custom dice block, but because having it would improve a lot of things about this board.
Galleria. Use in-game coins to get a
Yeah, flash sale. So because it says flash sale is ending here, so for certain turns of the board, there's going to be cheaper stars for 10 coins, which is a good supplementary mechanic. I don't think a whole board... I think a whole board needs more mechanics, which this one obviously has. But I think it's a cool thing that makes the board... It's like a little extra on top of what the board already has. So things we can see in this screenshot, that's what I think is the custom dice block. We'll hope it's in the game, because it's the best item. Best item, I think, in terms of, like, it's my favorite item to use. I think it adds so much to the game and every game it's in, especially, like, Mario Party 6 without the sluggish room would just be not the same. Warp blocks. Don't know how they're going to work, but it doesn't really matter. They're either going to swap positions or go to another player. Fun item, assuming it goes to a random player. I mean, even if it wasn't, that might even be more fun, but, like, good item that I like a lot. So I want to note how this says turn 5 out of 10. Every time the turn count is visible, it's turn 5, and it's the last... Actually, it's not the last player to go, but it's always turn 5, which... I mean, there's only 2 spots shown, but it's weird that they picked the same turn to do it. You can also see that it shows when the minigame is in the player order, and the home stretch is coming up because it's the last 5 turns. One thing I did notice, because I'm me and I notice these kinds of details, is that the fact that it says turn 5 of 10, when if we went to the Mario Party Superstars reveal trailer, shut up, Superstars reveal trailer. Turn 8 out of 20. So I think that this is something I pick up on, of course. That makes me kind of speculate that this game is going to be built around like a shorter turn limit, which I personally like. And again, built around, like, the game isn't going to feel lacking if it ends 10 turns in like a game of Superstars would. It doesn't seem like that would be the case because the boards seem very comparable to the boards of Mario Parties 2 through 8. So it would be good if it was. Hopefully they can go up to, like, I mean, 50 turns would be really fun. I don't know why they just let us play 50 turns, Nintendo. I'm not even going to do it. I just like having the option to play 50 turns. It's funny. It's like I don't know why they gated the turn count to 5, 10, or 10, 20, 10, 15, or 20 in the original Super. It's so easy to just change the number and have the game function. I could probably figure out how to implement greater turn counts into the game. Why would you just not have that option, Nintendo? That is such a stupid thing. If this game gets ruined by the fact like you can only play, like, I really doubt you're only going to be able to play 10 turns, but the idea of that worries me for some reason. But that's all I have to say about that. I thought the thing that made me think about this is that another thing I thought I had, because it was only turn 5, is that maybe it's going to be like in Mario Party 7, where there's going to be like a Bowser Time like event after certain turns, which is why they're only showing on turn 5. I think that might end up being the case, because, like, it could just be a coincidence, of course, because there's only 2 times the turn count is shown, but it's fun to speculate. I forgot to go over shops on the zoom out. So you can see this shop here, so are there 3 or are there only 2? I think there's only 2 you can see here. But it seems like there's going to be 3 on other boards, if I remember right. So the yellow shops are run by Koopa Troopas, it looks like. I think that's a Koopa Troopa. I can't really tell. But the purple ones are run by Kamek, which makes me think it's going to be not exactly like Mario Party 3, because that game had it randomly, but it has different shops with different item selections. I'm going to hope that... I doubt they're going to bring back the Mario Party 3 styled shops, which are the best type of shops in the series, because they just haven't done it since. It would be really nice, though, to just have the items be static, but rubber banding based on the point in the game and the position of the player. That's how you implement shops in Mario Party. Or how you should. But they just never do, for some reason. I think static shops... Super has static shops. I think it's not inherently a bad thing. I prefer Super shops to Superstars shops, because at least the shops hold different items and there's some thought on where you need to go to get specific items, whereas Superstars, they're all the same, and the shop items are the same for every place, which is stupid. I hate the shops in Superstars. But I'm almost certain there's going to be different item selections in the shops, which is at a bare minimum gives this game a better shop system than Superstars. I think this game is going to be at a bare minimum better than Superstars, but I'll get to my overall thoughts on it at the end of this. I am super excited for this game, if you couldn't tell. So let's move on to, where were we? Right here.
To get a star at half price when they're on flash sale, but act fast.
Roll 'em Raceway. So, the start line is, I'm assuming, where you start the board. These paths to me look pretty uneven. This one might have like a significant space difference. I don't think I really looked at that. But there's clearly some kind of board event here. Actually, I take that back, because I'm thinking about the other thing shown about the items on this board. And that actually might fix this if this is a bit shorter. That might fix the imbalance of paths that I was seeing here. These event spaces seem like they like turbocharge the car or something. And I think that's all that can be shown, be inferred from this part. Let's wait for it to cut away. So it only mentions the 4 dice on this board, which is leading me to believe that each board is going to have a different item selection. So triple dice are back, of course, and there's this item, which I think boards having different item selections is a... I don't know how I feel about that, because having static items makes the boards more diverse based on the actual board mechanics, and makes the boards... But at the same time, no, okay, I take it back, because like that kind of makes up for a lack of board mechanics, which I don't think this game has, but I think it could be used very well. Board-specific items. So this item here, to me, looks like it's going to be like kind of like a hex or a trap from Mario Party 6, 7, or DS. If they're going to go with like those gimmicks, please use like the roadblocks from 6 and 7, because the traps are super dumb and don't work well with games that are less than 50 turns long. So that's what it looks like to me. I think that would work really well on this board, at least the pass-by traps. If it was on a space, I think that'd work pretty poorly with this board. So hopefully it's just like the roadblocks from 6 and 7. It's a really cool idea. I hope there's good effects if that's what they're doing, because 6 and 7's roadblocks feel a bit lacking. Zap orbs are cool. Paratroopa is very fun, and which is only a 6. Thwomp is okay. They just don't feel that useful.
With the new turbo dice item.
So, first here, 44 to star. So there's probably a decent amount of spaces on this board. It looked small to me, like the last one, but it could just be a case of it looks small, but playing it's a lot better. But like this board, even if you're using high movement items a lot, feels like you're going to get around the board pretty quick, which I don't have a problem with if the board's designed around that. Just something to note. So these event spaces, I'm assuming, with that icon, launches you to the spot by the start with the same icon and the circles around the spaces. I like the fact that there's 3 there, so there's a decent chance of it occurring. The thing is, I like these things being board events rather than land on spaces most of the time. Hopefully this board has custom dice blocks, which are not seen in anyone's items, so that you can take advantage of these spaces strategically. So the thing about this item that turns your tires yellow that I noticed is that you'll see as Toad's moving around the board, he just passes by Boo. He doesn't visit Boo, he just keeps going. So this item is going to probably take away your ability to visit pass-by events. Which I like, honestly. I think if it moves so much, but it'll send you somewhere else on the board, but you can't visit any events. I think it's a good trade-off, provided the item isn't super expensive or rare. So, I don't see a shop on this map, is the thing. I have never seen, on any of the screenshots or video of this map, I have not seen a shop, which leads me to believe maybe there are one. Are there any item spaces on this board? I mean, even? Yes, there are, so I feel like there's probably a shop on this map, but I haven't seen one yet, so it'd be weird if there wasn't one. Maybe that's what maybe the start line will just like give you an item when it passes like the dice block icon it shows. Might give you an item instead of the board having a shop. But we'll see. I think that's all I could discern from this board. Goomba Lagoon. This is the board that looks the best to me out of the ones I've seen. It looks really fun for a couple of reasons. You can tell that this and the other two boards we've seen so far are just standard star hunting boards. You pay 20 coins, buy the star, and the star moves to somewhere else. There's no host selling you the star in this one, which I think is a little lame. There's always a lot of, I guess it's, I don't really care whether it's Nobody or Toadette. I feel like I don't care about Toadette selling you the star. Some are more unique, like Tumble. Tumble didn't sell you the star. Millennium Star sold you the star. I mean, I guess in like 6 and 7 even, they didn't have anyone sell you the stars, so yeah. As for this board, I counted up. I got a rough estimate of how many spaces on this board, because this one also looks small to me. It's not. There's like 90 spaces on this board, which is comparable to the size of the boards of 2 through 4, but because of how this board works, I think it's going to be a little smaller than that, which is not a problem. It's still larger than the boards of 6 or 7, and nobody complains about the boards in 6 or 7 being too small. So, you can see 3 shops here, 2 of which are the Koopa-styled shop, and then 1 of which is the Kamek shop. You can even see Kamek in there now. The size of this board makes me believe the game is not going to be built around 10 turns, like I said. So hopefully there are options for longer games than 20 turns in this one. So, talk about some of the board events you can see here. These 2 spaces and these 2 spaces, I'm assuming, are just they give you an item or coins, because this is probably like some kind of fishing event that you play, and then these are the treasure chests, obviously. Can't tell what this one is. The zip lines. There are a couple zip lines, actually. No, there's only 2. There's this one, which is a couple, but there's this one and this one. I'm assuming you land on these, you go to there. Why? Just make those a paid pass-by event. Wait. I'm just noticing this now. This blue space is like by itself there. You can't access this besides the zip line, I think. Maybe these will transport you over to there then. That could be the case. I'm actually thinking, what is the point of the zip line? It just sends you over to here, but you can already just go there from the paths. Maybe the water level will affect things with that. Which, we'll see right here. We can also see that this, whatever happens up here, is a pass-by event, which is good. Yeah, you'll see it changes the paths. Love this gimmick. So, the idea of this gimmick, because that adds strategy. You have to plan out your turns based on what the routes are going to look like. Good board mechanic. I would make it. I hope it switches like every few turns. It's like plannable. I'm okay with like one event that changes it, rarely, but hopefully it's something you can plan around and play around. Move fast if it's the last turn, one way, place you want to be, stuff like that. add more utility to custom dice blocks, stuff like
And
that.
things really get mixed up when the volcano
Yeah, so I don't know what this is. A bunch of gold Goombas come out. Don't
blows
know what
its
that's
top.
gonna do.
Along with five
Okay, so here we can see a new angle of Roll'em Raceway. There's nothing more, I think, to add for these two boards, but you get to see a new angle of Roll'em Raceway. We can see that this
new game.
this is definitely a junction, which you can't see when the text is covering it, but you're gonna have to trust me. There is a junction there. So hopefully, yeah, those paths should be balanced based on how the board's mechanics work. But I don't think there's anything else to note there. There's more of the transport things, it looks like, spread around the map that send you there. Actually, this might... No, that's the same icon for sure. So these will probably also send you over here. Maybe, that could work well even if they are just land-on events, though. Because there are so many of them spread around the board. Alright, so Mega Wiggler's Tree Party. You're obviously going to be able to go on this Wiggler. And since there's these different leaves here and the pathways, he's going to move around. Another good... Like, these boards have actual mechanics, and that's making me really happy. It makes me feel like they actually knew what they were doing when they made this game. Because you can actually discern that these are board mechanics on the board. This is probably going to be the introductory board. That's probably going to be the only mechanic on it, which is okay. At least it's something. There are boards like... Even Towering Treetop and Grand Canal, boards that I like, just feel like they need more. Towering Treetop, I think, is significantly better because the paths, I think, are nice. The item selection is very fun in comparison to Grand Canal. But they feel like they need more. This could help with that. I think Chilly Waters is probably the board you want to look at for how to design an opening board. And it even really doesn't feel like an opening board, but you don't need like a basic beginner board. Every board should have some mechanics. But this seems like it's going to be a very good introductory board that's still fun. I'm just noticing now. The way the leaves are facing, the Wiggler probably is only going to have two different positions. Either here or from here to here. Oh, wait, I'm just also noticing that these are like two-way paths, so you could like cross paths with someone on the Wiggler, or if he moves the next turn while you're standing on the Wiggler. Actually, this is a really cool mechanic. This is actually going to be pretty... I think that'll be really fun, since you can go enter the Wiggler both ways, and then you may be getting off in a different destination. I would make him move every turn if I was designing this board. So the only real... I'm assuming these Piranha Plants one are just going to like harm you in some way, like the ones from the Wiggler's Garden board in Mario Party DS. There's also these bell events, which is my assumption. They're going to ring, they're going to wake the Wiggler, he's going to move. Good. I would have liked to have some place... There's at least 4 of them on the map, so there's a lot of them, a decent amount of them. I would like to have some place where you can like pay to move the Wiggler or something. But that's still, assuming you get a lot of custom dice blocks, could be still something that comes into play a lot. It also, I didn't see this before, it looks like there's a pass-by event here. Maybe that is like something to do with the Wiggler. I hope like the whole board is very reliant on this Wiggler thing to get around, because it looks like it's going to be like basically a loop, but you can use the Wiggler to shortcut. Which I think would work well. You can also see chance times here. And here, so there is chance time on all the boards, it seems like. And then King Bowser's Keep, I can't really tell much about this from the screenshot. We got Big Bowser, who's obviously going to come into play quite a bit in this board. The one thing that really did stick out to me, though, is this area, where you start here and then go up. Do you take the left or right? With the way that these paths work, you're not going to return to this area. To my knowledge, there's never been a Mario Party board where there's no path that loops you around to the start. So I think there's either going to be a lot of things that send you to start, or like this. I don't know, it's a path here. So I think there's going to be some things that send you to start. Maybe that's what this is. It sends you back to start. But I want a bigger screenshot of this so I can actually tell what everything is on this board. I don't actually see shops anywhere on this board. I can't tell what this is. That could be a shop, maybe? Or, I don't know. Can't really tell a lot from just seeing this. And then we get to look at the returning boards. I don't think there's anything more to say about what Rainbow Castle. You can see a shop here. This one doesn't seem to have a camera. In fact, I only see one shop on this map. So that's Boo over there. Interesting. See how that works. We'll see what comes of that. So, Western Land. First thing I noticed, these paths are different. If we, I think I have it up, yep. Western Land here. This is not what the corner of the board looks like. I think this is an improvement, personally. Because when you go down here, you're going to get to choose. You can either go in this loop here. If you have a skeleton key, go back here. And if not, still just go in the loop. So they added a new junction to the board, basically, which I think is a good addition. I think Western Land's going to be very fun in this game. I think a lot of Western Land, it looks, I don't know, is there going to be less space? It looks like there's a lot less spaces, which is good. Western Land's a little too big and hard to get around in the original. So I think this is going to be a big improvement on the original version of Western Land. It's a board I like, but don't really love. So the other thing I wanted to note that was changed is Boo over here. Used to be over here. He's where the bank... I'm assuming this is Boo. It's a graveyard. That's where the bank usually is. I don't see any banks on this board. Weird that they brought them back for Superstars and then didn't bring them back. If they didn't bring it back in this one, which they don't seem to be, because they wouldn't be on any board other than Western Land. The other thing is where Boo used to be, looks to be a shop. And where the shop used to be, looks to be a board event that is not a shop. This looks to be some kind of like horse event. Don't know what that's going to be, but it's a pass-by event and not a event space, which surprised me. The train still seems to be the same. Hopefully they take away that stupid gimmick where you either get to go forwards or go backwards. Just make the train always go forwards. That would make the board a lot better. That would make it like a borderline top 10 board in the series for me, I think. Just if they change that. Actually, no. That, along with the other changes and having a bit more interesting item system, would make make Western Land a better board, significantly. There's also a shop here, which looks to be the Kamek shop. Can't tell if Boo is still in this corner. The logo is blocking it. Yeah, you can't... Oh! Okay. They took out this Boo, didn't they? Yeah, it's about where the star is. So they removed that Boo, which I actually am in favor of, because I don't think I mentioned this. Actually, it's after this, so... if you have the skeleton key here, this is a really, really good skeleton key gate. This one still looks kind of mediocre, but that was the good one in the original. This one, if you go back, go to here, you hit the item shop again, and you hit Boo again. So, potentially, you could just get a skeleton key, go to Boo, keep going around, and just keep hitting Boo. If there were two Boos on the board, that would be a little too much Boo, I think, personally. But if there's just one, and there's a skeleton key to access it, it runs into the problem that like Spiny Desert does in Mario Party 3, where yeah, I could go for the gamble of getting the star, or I could just reverse into Boo for 20 turns. Makes the entire kind of breaks the entire board, but this is looking like it might suffer from that problem, which would suck because all the other mechanics look like they're vast improvements on the original, from what I've seen. Oh, here's a shop, actually. They just moved the shop from here to here. Did not notice that. Maybe there's other stuff I missed that I'll have to mention. You can see that they brought back the Hootenanny event, which is a really fun event that just didn't get utilized enough in the original because of its location. Hopefully this Western land is easier to get around and make that event occur more. I really don't have much to say on Rainbow Castle. It looks to be pretty much the same, which is fine. It's a simple board, but honestly, no. I think this is going to be not very good, assuming they don't do the Castaway Bay lose a star. If that's all they need to do to make this board good, honestly. You lose a star when Bowser's there, the board's good. If not, falls down to decent at best, I feel like. But maybe I'll like it on release. We'll see. Last thing to mention here is skeleton keys. It doesn't look like they're going to be on any other board. I didn't see any gates or anything. But there's art in the artwork of the game. You'll see there's a skeleton key there, which is weird if it's only on one board. That also kind of adds to the idea that each board's going to have a different item selection. Because skeleton keys will be restricted to this board.
Return. Some mini games are
okay, I don't have as much to say on the non-board stuff. Nothing to say on this at all. So these just look like mini games. This one, though, this is an 8-player co-op mini game. You can tell that they're working together, and there's a rank like the river mode mini games in the first Super Mario Party. Don't know why they chose to bring this mode back. It was pretty hated, but 8 players is kind of crazy. Like 8 characters at once. So it looks better. I'm think it's gonna probably be better.
And more. And summer control.
So here's the thing. These minigames obviously require a single Joy-Con controller. Is this one and the golf one? That made me worried of, oh no, they're just gonna require you to use the Joy-Cons again, which is not a deal breaker for me, but it is for some. But that's not the case, because apparently the motion-controlled minigames, as we'll see on the website, which I'm gonna look at after this, just aren't playable online. I don't know why that is. I also want to bring up the fact, if anyone saw the GameSpot review of Mario Party Superstars, where their main complaints were that you couldn't play as Monty Mole, and there were no motion control minigames, and they gave it a 6 out of 10. That person got their wishes. Monty Mole's playable. There's motion control minigames. They happy now? It almost feels like Nintendo listened to what GameSpot had to say, which is a very bad idea. Do not listen to what GameSpot has to say. Most of the time. They gave Tropical Freeze a 6, didn't they? Yeah, their opinion doesn't count. I know they re-reviewed and gave it like a 9, but like, who gives Tropical Freeze a 6? Anything below a 9 for that game is like wrong.
Gently shaking or tilting your Joy-Con controllers. With over 110 minigames.
Yeah, 110 minigames is still a massive number. They're not all going to be playable in the party mode like Superstars, so there's going to be less minigames in circulation in Superstars, which is fine because some minigames in Superstars just feel like they never show up. I think Superstars has too many minigames, honestly. It should be a little less so that you actually get to see the minigames you want. Like, I just can't believe they made 7 boards and 110 minigames. Like, you'd think one of those selections would be lacking, but there seems to be like an actual lot of content in this game, and like that's almost suspicious to me. Because we have never had a Mario Party where I felt satisfied with the amount of content, except debatably Star Rush, since like Mario Party 9. And even the Star Rush, I feel like, needs some expanding in certain modes.
Wide variety to enjoy.
And the Coinathlon, the best mode in the series, is back. I'm still really excited for this. Of course, originally appearing in Star Rush. I think I had something written on this. Oh yeah, so they talk about how there's 20 playable characters or 20 players at once in this, but it never says anything about it being local multiplayer or offline. I really hope there is offline, like in I mean, Star Rush technically wasn't. I mean, it's offline, but you need multiple DSs. The reason I wanted Coinathlon back so badly was because trying to play multiplayer in Star Wars is difficult. You need multiple DSs. You need everyone to download the guest version of the game for some reason to get the full Coinathlon experience. It's just dumb. Like, if they bring Coinathlon back and then it's still lacking just because you can't play it locally, that would upset me. Like, that's kind of ruins my excitement for Coinathlon. I really hope that's not the case, but I'm not that confident on that.
Can go head-to-head online in the Coopathlon mode.
But it looks like it's going to play like Coinathlon. You can see it's building up an item like the original game.
Try your best to come
And the Bowser games are back, which is fun. Those were fun.
There are even more new modes?
Yeah, I have no idea what this mode is. Why is this its own mode? This is obviously the one with the floating islands now, looking at this again. But I have no idea what the point of this mode is or why this is its own mode. This might just be like a small mode. It seems like the rhythm mode in this is going to be themed around a kitchen and like cooking. Like, and I'm seeing a meter fill up. Maybe you're playing the rhythm game and the whole thing is like creating a meal. That's kind of a fun idea. I like that.
Mario Party Yet will soon be under.
And then there's this Bowser mode, which I have no idea what this one's going to be like. Let me take a look at what they're doing. Okay, this seems to be like everyone's working together, going around a map, and like building stuff or shooting stuff to fight Bowser. It's a fun one. I like that idea. This looks like it's going to be a... I don't know, this mode, I don't really know about this mode yet. We'll see. There's probably going to be another trailer in the assumed September Nintendo Direct that's going to come out this year. So, I'll, of course, do an analysis of that when it releases. Don't know what this mode's going to be like. But most of this is speculation because it's a 2-minute trailer. I can only I can only infer so much from it.
Will soon be underway.
And that's the trailer pretty much. And then there's also this website that I was looking at. So things from there's a Toady here. I haven't seen him in a while. Actually, no, he wasn't in the first Super. He owned the shop. Why is he on the art though? What? Like, he's on the art, Wario's not on the art. What's going on here? Why does the Toady have more relevance than Wario? That's not okay. I don't approve of that. The only thing to really note of the art is the items down here. Item bags are in the game. Confirmed. Almost confirmed. Please make them purchasable. I want to buy the item bag. They're a gamble. That's what makes them fun. Boo Bells are in the game. Cool. Hopefully they're not just a rare item again. Just get rid of the rare item thing. It's so dumb. If you're going to make rare items, make them rare items, like Mario Party 3. Like, actually ridiculous effects. Rather than items that were purchasable from shops often in Mario Party 3. No idea what the shell item is. Hasn't been seen yet in the series. There's nothing from this that really notes anything, or these screenshots or anything. But here's the thing where it says, Buzzer Troll minigames require a Joy-Con controller, not available when playing online. They have not confirmed whether there's going to be board gameplay online, but I'm gonna assume there is, just because why would everyone loved the fact that you could play superstars online? Why would you take that away? That's a big step back. It wouldn't ruin the game for me, of course, if there was no online, because my favorite Mario parties are not playable online. This could still be my favorite Mario Party if there's no online. But it would just be a dumb thing to cut out. But that's it for my analysis. It looks really good still. After analyzing this for a ridiculous amount of time, what are we at right now? I've doing this for almost an hour. It's a 2-minute trailer. I don't know how I got that much out of this.